Welcome to your December 2024 full moon forecast. This is the last full moon of 2024. It's also the last full moon before we have the solstice in the northern hemisphere. We'll be turning towards the light, and that's a beautiful thing. So this full moon been pretty emotional because we have 3 planets retrograde, including Mercury, but Mercury's about to go direct, and Jupiter's retrograde as well as Mars itself. But this is a very powerful full moon for manifesting. It's in Taurus in Vedic astrology, and I will share with you everything that you need to know to make the most of this full moon. Hi, I'm Prema, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm grateful that you're here. If you have not already subscribed, I appreciate if you do, and like and share this. And if you do not know what your Vedic astrology ascendant or moon is, you can get the free chart calculator down below. Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac. It will be different than your Western placements are. And if you haven't taken the free Sacred Wealth Code quiz, you can get one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes. Also, there's a link down below, as well as all my readings and programs. So this December 15th full moon at 29 degrees of Taurus in Vedic astrology, the grounded sign of Taurus, is, this is again at the very end of the sign. We've had several full moons that have been at this 29-degree mark. It's been very interesting. So the sun is just about to move out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. It's pretty much in Gandanta right now. That's the place of between water and fire that helps us to untie some of those karmic knots, but it also makes it a pretty emotional time. So if the emotions are high, you are not alone during this time. Or if you're feeling kind of tired, there's a lot of retrograde energy, but there's also this anticipation. We're coming into a new year. What is next? We want to get our energy in that direction, but give yourself a moment, okay? We will get there. Let's wrap up this year first. This full moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus. That means it's very strong. It is also with the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter is our great visionary. It's our great sage also. And we've got the full moon there, which is also our queen. And so this brings a lot of light, a lot of expansion, and a lot of hope. Now, it has been a wonky period of time with communication, technology, travel, all the things with the Mercury retrograde that we're currently in. But interesting thing is Mercury is going to go direct just hours after this full moon on December 15th. So we'll start to see some of that travel and technology and communication clean up, and some of the things that you have not been clear about, the clarity is going to start to drop in around these things, and this full moon will bring the light of consciousness in for you to see that. But this full moon has a lot to do with wealth, with love, our worthiness, our security, our values, because it's in this grounded sign of Taurus. And Taurus tends to like to support and build things that last. Also in Taurus, we can feel stuck and stubborn. So we want to let go of that energy, but have the intention of what is it that I want to manifest, that I want to be sustainable, that I want to last. Because when we are willing to get out of our own way, and then we can receive more of what the universe is just waiting to deliver to us. And that's exactly the energy of this full moon. And in the full moon healing circle, we will be working on that, getting out of our own way, getting past those beliefs, those blocks, those barriers, pulling those weeds that are keeping us from the fulfillment that we truly desire. And what does our heart really desire for us to create? Because this full moon is going to help us to create that in a really big way. It's in Mrigashira nakshatra. So in Vedic astrology, we have nakshatras. They are the fixed stars that are sort of behind the signs, we can put it that way. And Mrigashira literally means the head of a deer, and it's known as the seeking or the searching star. And it's searching for fulfillment. That's your desires. But we want to make sure those are your heart's desires, because when you're tuned into your heart's desires, you're tuned into your soul desires. Your heart knows the way. When we take the time to drop into our hearts and really find out what it is that our heart desires, our soul desires, our deeper wisdom comes through and gets to the essence of what we really are looking for, then we can get to the fulfillment. A lot of times we are going after things that really aren't going to give us the fulfillment that we desire. And so we get the thing or we don't get the thing, either which way, and we still don't feel fulfilled. So when you're tuned into a heart's desire, you've taken the time to tune in, to close your eyes, to take a deep breath. If you've ever been to one of my healing circles, one of my readings, any of my programs, my trainings, we always take the time to drop the brilliant mind but busy mind down into the all-knowing heart, because your heart will give you the essence of the truth of what your soul is ready for. And this full moon is bringing that through in a way. What is it that you want to create here on earth? What do you want to have in the tangible material that will bring you fulfillment? It's got to be connected to something that is meaningful for you. It can't be just another of stuff. You know, maybe it's a new home that you're ready for. Maybe that you want to feel more of a sense of purpose in the work that you do. You know, fulfillment comes in a lot of different ways, but there's a part of you that's been searching. There's a part of you that's been looking, and because of all the retrograde energy, you might be feeling a little bit confused. We can choose to not feel confused by when things are not clear. We just allow them not to be clear. And we are opening up to another level of clarity instead of being confused. Because if we're confused, that's a very different energy, and that it just blocks us, where sometimes all the information just isn't in yet. And that's part of what's been going on with a lot of this retrograde energy. We've got Mars retrograde at the same time. Now Mars is going to be retrograde for a while now, and it's debilitated in Cancer. I talk about this more in the December update, and I'll talk about it more in the January update, so you want to watch those updates for as well. But the nakshatra that this is happening in is Mrigashira, is also ruled by Mars. So this Mars debilitation in Cancer, where it's over emotional and feeling a little emotionally frustrated, is lending to, you know, some of the unsteady energy that we have. But if we're willing to get grounded and take whatever's coming up for us emotionally, then, and working through that and healing through that, then this can be a very powerful time. Also with the Mercury retrograde, that's opposite this full moon in Scorpio, a very deeply emotional time. We've been dealing with a lot of stuff coming to the surface. And if we are willing to do our work around that, just what's in this for me, what's in my way, what do we need to clear, and again, we do this in the full moon healing circle, then this can be a really potent time. But we want to wait until things are clear before we actually move forward. So Mrigashira also is ruled by the moon god Soma, and literally it gives the power of fulfillment. And fulfillment is one of the richest feelings, and it can be very different what gives us fulfillment. It could be, you know, being generous to someone. It can be, you know, the work that you do. For me, I get a huge amount of fulfillment by being on purpose and doing the work that I do. So this level of fulfillment for you, this would be a great time for you to really journal about, like, what brings me the most fulfillment? Do I feel fulfilled? Where could I feel, in what part of my life could I feel more fulfilled? And maybe that's in your relationships. Maybe that is in the work that you're doing, or that maybe you're not doing right now. Maybe that is in, you know, where you are in the world or your communities. What that level of fulfillment, it's a powerful time to really tune in, connect with your heart. This gives us it's the energy of the moon exalted in Taurus, and then the energy of Mrigashira helps us to bring the ideas down to the material plane, because Taurus has a lot to do with the material. So what ideas have you been thinking about? What ideas have been coming to you that you really want to birth, you want to bring down to earth in this new year? Great time to be journaling, tuning in, really dropping into your heart. We'll be doing that in the full moon healing circle as well, and really envisioning, you know, how you want to bring that in, what you want to bring in, you know, in the year to come. Now, stay tuned, because I will be bringing you something around visioning for 2025. So I'll be bringing that to you soon. So stay tuned for that, okay? Because we're not quite there yet. We need to get a little more past this Mercury retrograde and this full moon before we can start tuning into what's really, envisioning for the new year. So again, there's a bit of onto energy because of where the sun is in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And so there can be a lot of emotions as we untie some of these karmic knots. We may know what they are. We may not know what they are. Karmic knots tend to be patterns that you have been repeating, that you brought in, that you're repeating, but you get to release those. You get to, like, it can be feeling like something's unraveling during this time. We want to let that unravel. So you may need to do some clearing about that, or you need to do some journaling, or simply to not try to judge the process and just allow it to happen. As we move through this full moon time, remember that it's an extraordinary time for really unleashing abundance of imagination and creativity, those ideas that want to come into form. So take time to journal about this. This amplifies your power to fulfill some of your deepest desires. But if you don't know what those deepest desires are, then it's hard to fulfill them. So we want to reverse engineer that. What brings you the most fulfillment? Really tune into that. And if it's not something that you are currently engaged with creating, at least open up to the idea of it. What really brings you that most profound joy and sense of fulfillment? And this full moon can really support us in our journey towards our spiritual opening, our spiritual growth and ascension, because it has a lot to do with our own self-discovery, like turning the light bulb on. It's very much of a catalyst for our own personal transformation. So it's a great time to be, creative. Remember, a full moon is the sun and moon being opposite. The sun represents the soul in Vedic astrology, and the moon represents the consciousness. And so, we get to see more in the dark in a full moon, just like when that moon is, bright outside in a clear sky, you can see a lot more. So we can see more of what we desire, but we can also see more of what needs to be cleared out of the way. And that's why I hold the full moon healing circles. The link is down below for that. Love to have you come and do that. I play the singing bowls. I tell you more about the energy a little bit more personally for you. I do a collective card reading, and I take you on a journey to clear what's in the way, to open up to what's next. And it's always a very incredible transformational journey. It's a channel journey, so it's new and different each and every time. It's $55. The link is down below if you want to join the subscription. It's $47, or if you want to come into the Sacred Wealth Collective monthly membership, it's $110 for the membership, but you get the full moon healing circle. I also do a new moon reading and teaching for the month. There's also different resources within your member site, so you can learn more about the energy, learn more about the archetypes, learn more about you, basically. And I do a live Q&A, and I do card pulls for you personally there as well. So that's the membership. Link is down below. If you're wondering what's coming in for 2025 for you and you'd like to have a reading, again, link down below. I'm doing readings for 2025. The transits, we've got some really major transits. It's good to know when to run, when to lean back, when's the best time for whatever it is that your heart's desires, what's your soul challenges coming up that you'll want to be aware of to grow through instead of let them take you down, and what's the magic coming up for you next year. So love to do a reading for you. All right. So much love to you.